Hi everybody, today is my what's in my current makeup box video. I'll explain to you what this series is really all about, and the idea is to have certain things that are my project pan items sort of live there, and I'll mention which ones are they, and then to have the rest of the stuff rotating every once in a while, every few weeks, to create a fresher set of looks. Usually I try to make my makeup box make sense, so things that go with each other. The base of what is in there is created by the project pan items, but there are plenty of items that are not project pan that I rotate in and out and sort of keep there just for a limited amount of time to play with different looks and different products. And then I rotate them out. They go back into my makeup collection, and new products or other products that I haven't used in a while come out to play. And that's the whole point. This is what I'm trying to stick to, mostly because having a makeup box, which by the way, for me looks like this, it's a mirrored makeup box, and everything I need for a few weeks is held in here. So why am I doing this? Because actually I find myself wasting time getting ready in the morning. You know, it's a functional thing for me. I need to get ready. I find myself wasting time going through my makeup collection, my entire makeup collection, picking things that I want to wear that day. And I discovered that I go through phases with looks. So I like a particular kind of look for a couple of weeks, and then I move to a different look or a different eyeshadow palette or a different cheek look or whatever. And so I go through a phase where I'm intensively using something, and then I get bored with it and I move on to something else. And the idea is to rotate my stuff in and out so that everything gets used, everything gets some love, and at the same time I'm not buying anything and I'm constantly entertained by having things that I forgot I owned sometimes, or that I kind of wasn't thinking about very much back in my rotation. But at the same time I have this sort of compact, small version of my makeup collection based on the looks that I'm doing right now, including the products that I want to be using right now. And it's at my fingertips and I don't have to think hard because it's just all there. So this is kind of the idea behind having a makeup box and rotating things in and out of it as I please. Now let's run through the stuff that is in here. First, the foundation that I have in here is Makeup Forever Water Blend Face and Body. I really like it. It's in my project pan, which I will link down below the playlist for if you're interested. I am using it up a little bit, but recently I kind of fell off the wagon with using foundation because I got a touch of tan, and for me that is like the tannest that I've been in years. So we've been paddleboarding quite a bit. So I caught a little sun, even though I was protecting myself and wearing, you know, UV rash guard and everything. So this is a touch light for me at the moment, first and foremost. Secondly, I kind of don't love wearing foundation in the summer, so it's falling by the wayside. It's not getting a ton of use, but I am going to keep it in because it is in my project pan, and project pan items stay in there. They don't move. Next, we have this Nude by Nature stick highlighter. It's called Highlight Stick. Yeah. The color is 01 Champagne, and this is a wonderful little treasure. I really enjoy it. It's a stick highlighter that sets, so if you don't like tackiness or that dewiness, then this is great. It is this champagne color that is actually quite perfect for me right now. And you can apply it intensely. You can buff it into the skin into like a rather gentle sheen, and then it sets and it lasts all day. It's really quite lovely and a good formula, I would say. If you're lighter than me, you probably won't find a color that will suit you. I'm sort of light to fair right now. Usually I'm like pretty fair. They do have a rose shade that people with my skin tone can utilize as a blush, but darker skin tones can utilize as a pink highlight, and a bronze tone, which I can utilize as a bronzy color on my cheeks, not as a highlight. And if you're a darker skin tone, that would be a very beautiful bronzy skin highlight. So there are a few options there, but unfortunately the lineup is pretty sparse in terms of color selection. I wish they released more because the formula is rather remarkable. I do like it. And I have to say, not everything by Nude by Nature has been liked by me. Not everything. This has been. I have a red liner that I'm using right now. This is my sort of designated red color. This is by Beauty 078 Lip Pencil. It needs a bit of a sharpen, but this guy I'm hoping to be done with for the new year. We'll see. I'll keep it in. This guy, I'm not even sure what to do with, honestly, because I am never pulling for it. And that's a problem because this is a pretty concise collection of makeup, and I should really be using all of it. This one I haven't used. It's been a month and it's been in my makeup box and I haven't even reached for it. This is Vapor Beauty Mesmerize Stick. This is, I think, supposed to be just an eyeshadow, which is very nice and taupey. Actually a very pretty color. I think not very summery. It acts as a shadow base. It works fine as that. I've been also using it on cheeks for contouring, but right now I'm not doing any contouring, so it's kind of idly hanging about, not really doing very much. I think I'm going to remove this and reintroduce it in the fall and see if I'm more prone to using it in the fall when I have more of a maybe cream contoured look going on. And this is going to be a really lightweight cream contour. As I said, it's like a really nice mauve-y, mauve toned color, and it can look very, very natural in the cheeks. So I am moving this one out right now, and I will revisit it at some point in the future. For powder, I have two here. First is this loose powder from Besame. I've entered it into the rotation because I felt like I wanted something brightening around my under eye area, and I've been wearing a touch of concealer that pretty much matches my skin tone and then brightening it up just slightly with this Besame powder. And this is Besame Brightening Violet Powder in Translucent. It's a slight violet tint of color. It's very pretty. It smells like violets, which is of course something I can't say no to. I really love the smell of violets. And they have a vintage flair to their packaging, which I don't hate. I do prefer something sleek and modern if I had my pick, but vintage is pretty, and I do enjoy the packaging of this. It does look like it came from maybe the 50s or the 40s even. So it has this aesthetic. It's cute. And the quality of the powder is actually very nice. It's very finely milled. I have no problem with this powder. I will finish it up. I'm not sure if I will repurchase, but I'll definitely finish it up. And the other powder that I'm using sometimes as a foundation, although it is not a foundation, it's Mineral Wear Talc-Free Mineral Face Powder in Translucent Light from Physicians Formula. This guy I've been buying forever, ever since my grad school days when I had no money and that was all I could afford. This is an awesome pressed powder. I love it and I still use it. I still buy it. Even though I'm no longer a grad student. So this really tells you something. The thing that I hate about it is, of course, the packaging. It is but ugly. So sad about that. I wish they had a cute packaging thing going on, but it is an ugly packaging. I'm sorry, guys, but I am going to recommend it because it's just an awesome powder. It's very soft. It's talc free. So if you're concerned about talc, then you don't have to be concerned with this one. And it is a little bit dusty, but not too dusty, like not enough to bother me. It sits on my dry skin wonderfully. It is a little bit mattifying if you like that look. I just really enjoy this. Is a great powder and I totally recommend you guys check it out because the quality is really there of the product itself. If you can depot it and put it in something slightly less just disappointing looking, good for you. I would if I were you. I have depotted them before, but right now I just cannot be bothered. The next product is a cheek product. This is a Bite Beauty Multi-Stick. Mine is in the color Cashew. Now, I have some thoughts about this guy. I've used it a lot. It might not look like it, but you can see there's quite a bit used up. The color is awesome. I think this is a great color to buy for multi-purpose on all over your skin, on the face. Like it works as an eyeshadow, a cream eyeshadow. It's rather dry in texture. It works on the cheeks, it works on the lips, but really, again, rather dry in texture. And this dry texture is what I wanted to mention. So it does blend. So you can certainly blend it out. It does require a little bit of effort, and it leaves a really nice shade for my skin tone. It's wonderful, and I think it's pretty universal. Unless you have quite dark skin tone, then you might invest into a darker color, and they have a ton of colors, so you will definitely find colors that you will like. They have brights, they have neutrals, they have vampire colors, like they have anything you want in that lineup. This guy I prefer to warm up on my fingers and then tap in. I think that gives you a better application than trying to blend it from, you know, a stripe on your face. So I kind of like this product because of the staying power, because it's slightly drier. The staying power is decent, actually quite good, especially for a cream product, really good for a cream product. The problem I'm having is that, you know, I have already dry skin type, and creamier formulas generally work better. So this is not a fault of Bite Beauty, and I don't think that the formula's, you know, not good. I think it's a great formula, but I think it would work much better for those of you who have oilier skin types and still like to use creams on your skin. So I would say, you know, it doesn't happen often that I'm like, you know, for my dry skin, this cream product hasn't worked, but for oily skin, it might. And this is the case here. I think this might be a little better for combo to oily, although it's totally workable on my skin type. It's just a little bit harder to blend in because it is a little bit of a dry formula, which again gives it a better wear time. So I'm kind of on the fence. I don't think I'll be buying more of these because I have conflicting emotions and thoughts about it. Again, I think good product, not completely right for me personally and my skin type. And then we have this eye base, which is my favorite base for eyeshadows ever. And oftentimes I'll wear it on its own. This is MAC Bare Study Pro Longwear Paint Pot. Bare Study is a good color for me because it is slightly pinky, slightly peachy. So neutral to maybe slightly cool, but with a golden flash. So it's really quite neutral. And I apply it as a base for my shadows. Although it's slightly shimmery, it still holds the shadows nicely. Even the matte shadows blend out really great over top of it. It looks like that. And oftentimes I'll just wear it on its own, which is easy look, an easy look. Totally recommend the MAC paint pots. I don't think there's a better eyeshadow base out there, not at least from what I've tried. And I've tried the big guns like the NARS, the Urban Decay, I tried the Essence. That was horrible for me. I tried a variety of cream shadows that were marketed as shadow bases or whatever. Yeah, it's fine. Like, they're fine, they work. But something like this with a little bit of pigment and either shimmery or matte texture, I mean, nothing really beats for me the staying power of the MAC paint pots. They are superior, I have to say, to every single eye base I've tried. From the drugstore ones. I've tried Milani one. I don't remember all the ones I tried, but I've never been as impressed as I am with MAC. For brows, I am rocking this guy. This is Plume. Very clean company, extremely good ingredients. It's Plume Nourish and Define Pomade in Ashy Daybreak. I chose the color, they sent it to me. It is a wonderful little gem. If you're looking for something that is the same as Anastasia Beverly Hills, you will not find it here. This is slightly creamier. The staying power is still really good. The selection of colors is really good as well. And I kind of like smudging it across my eyelids as well for that easy one shadow, just slight wash of color over your lid, and it is matte kind of look. And it's a perfect color for my particular eyebrows, and they have a good color selection, so I would check them out. It's not as bulletproof as Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, which I owned, but it is really good. So if you're into clean, non-toxic stuff, test out Plume. They know what they're doing with their brow pomades. For a concealer, I have this guy, which is deep potted. This is a little glass pot that I'm using. There's the concealer. The concealer is fantastic quality, and it is a Physicians Formula concealer called Insta Ready Full Coverage Concealer. This is the pump it came in, and I don't actually recommend this product, although I love the texture. I think the texture is great. I think they need to repackage. This sucks. The pump sucks. It pumps out too much. The product is great. They need to repackage. They need some other solution. I would put in a squeezy tube. This would do great in a squeezy tube. The consistency will work well with a squeezy tube. I don't know why they did this. This is crazy to me. Does not work well and was so annoying that I depotted it. I depotted the whole entire thing, and there it is. And I've been using it a lot. I'm just dipping my clean concealer brush into it and applying it in a targeted way. So like really pinpoint application, AKA, you know, Lisa Eldridge style. And I think that works really well. But that pump, like, I don't recommend that product because the packaging sucks. Physician Formula really needs to repackage it and then sell it, and it will be a huge hit. It's a really good concealer. Pretty good coverage. Not the highest of the high, but like medium to high coverage with great texture, and the staying power is really good too. So I'm actually really impressed with the product, not impressed with packaging. This is my Stila palette that I'm back to using. This is Sunrise Splendor Convertible Color Dual Lip and Cheek Palette. For me, these are nice creamy textures that I enjoy on my cheeks much more than I do the Bite Beauty Multi-Stick texture, which is a little drier. These are a little creamier. They still set though and wear really, really long. I don't like them on lips. On lips, they're a touch drying. I generally haven't found a lot of products that work on both cheeks and lips and don't dry you out completely in terms of lip color. So these are wonderful colors. You can mix up whatever color you want. This is a good color palette for me. And these textures I've used for years. Love this. And it is in my project pan as well. So if you're interested in swatches and some swatches, look at that playlist. You'll find stuff there. Then we have my palette that I made. It has a bunch of different shadows, some Lorac, some Guerlain, some Urban Decay, some Too Faced, I think, and the Guerlain Meteorites pressed blush. So this is kind of what I go for a lot because I've composed the color palette myself and I really like it. Duh, I made it, so I like it. And the other palette that I'm using right now is this palette by The Balm. It's called The Balm Voyage and has the two-parter. There are creams at the bottom, like a warmer tone apricot peach and a cooler tone red-based rich pink. And then it's a face palette. It has everything in it. It has a mirror that isn't really entirely usable. It has 9 eyeshadows, the colorway of which I really, really like. They're very, very pretty and wearable, blend and wear very, very well. So the quality of the shadows is something that I'm raving about in this palette for sure. And then we have 4 face colors. This one can be used obviously in the crease of the eyelid as well. Mary Luminizer, Super Bright Champagne. You have your bronzer called Grocio, I'm not sure which one it is in the permanent collection. The peach blush, very pretty, and the pinky mauve blush. And oftentimes I'll mix the blushes together. The bronzer works well on me, the highlighter works beautifully on me. I love this palette and I think it's a wonderful travel palette for my skin tone, and I think it'll work for most skin tones actually. If you're very dark, you might not appreciate the champagne highlight. You can use it as an eyeshadow though, and all of those can be used as such. But otherwise, this is a pretty universal palette. I mean, again, if you're very dark skin tone, bronzer will probably not work for you either, but the blushes absolutely will. They're very pigmented, they will show up. And they're not white based, so they won't be ashy. And the shadow colors they're very pigmented and easy to work with. So I think very, very universally pleasant palette. Anyway, this is the end of the video. Here is my makeup box. I've been using it for maybe 2 weeks already. I'll use it for another couple of weeks and then switch it up again and let you guys know what I'm pulling into my my next makeup box. And that's it for today. See you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Let me know what kind of makeup products you're wearing more than usual now that it's hot, hot, hot outside. And see you later. Bye-bye.